Mobi puts your crew's schedules in their pockets. Crews will have full access to their assigned jobs inside the app. Once they have selected any of their tasks, they are taken to the full details, including date, time, any pertinent details such as authorized weights and/or volumes, any notes made by the coordinator or dispatcher, and complete origin and destination addresses. They'll see all the assigned crew members, which vehicle they have been allocated, and the full details from the pre-move survey. This provides them with all of the knowledge they will need for a successful day on site. If you choose, the app can be configured to provide the crew with a complete history of all the tasks pertaining to the job. This will allow them to see which tasks have been completed and which tasks are still outstanding. The list of tasks can be filtered by department so they see only the ones pertaining to them, or provide them with the full list so they may better assist the client while on site. Mobi workflows are highly customizable. This allows you to create a workflow that matches your standard routines. Workflows can be both day-specific or job-specific. When you select a job, you are taken to the workflow for managing that job from arrival to departure. You have the option of setting the workflow as enforced, so the crew member is required to proceed through the steps as laid out, or they can be set as a guide to assist the crew as they navigate their day. Mobi is the perfect tool for keeping track of material usage. The cost for the move can be automatically adjusted based on this usage. Materials can be managed at different stages throughout the course of the job. Starting with the Materials Required screen, the crew will see the complete list of estimated materials for that day. It also provides the ability for them to record any additional materials they choose to load. They have the option of either noting the count of the additional items or simply updating the out column. In either case, the neighboring column will update automatically. Any materials that were not added during the initial load can be added while on site. The crew simply selects the task to which they want to add the material, select the type of materials, and then press Add. This will add that material to the Materials Required screen. Quantities can be updated through multiple methods. Simply tapping the item will increase its quantity by 1, or the crew can choose to edit the item where they can make larger adjustments in quantity or remove materials they choose not to load. Each job has its own materials screen embedded into the workflow. This screen is used to record the actual materials used while packing. The crew can either add the materials manually, or the inventory can be preset to record standard materials based on an inventory item. For example, a queen mattress, when added to the actual inventory, can also add a mattress bag to the materials used count. As shown here, the out column has been replaced with a used column. Here is where the crew can track how many of each material they actually used on the job. If the move is set to use resource-based costs, you can toggle a price column that also updates based on the price of the materials set in your system. To help keep track of the materials being returned to the warehouse at the end of the workday, Mobi provides a materials returned menu. This menu lists the estimated count, the out or loaded count, and then the used count. As materials are loaded off the vehicle, you can simply tap the material line to tally the amount physically returned. Mobi provides the ability to create detailed inventories that meet all Transcom proposed electronic inventory requirements and are compliant with ISO 17451 standards. When creating a new inventory, first select whether you're creating an estimated or an actual inventory. Estimated inventories are intended to be used for pre-move surveys, whereas actual inventories reflect what is collected at the time of loading. For this demo, we are working with an actual inventory. Once the inventory type is selected, you then want to determine how you would like to number the items. Mobi provides a lot of flexibility in how the pieces are numbered. You can use a basic tag system that simply starts with a specified number, or you can also assign lot colors and/or numbers. The system can work with barcoding as well. In this example, we've already set our starting number and we will enable auto numbering, which increases the item number by 1 with each piece you add. The inventory screen layout places the rooms and destination filters on the left-hand side, the ongoing inventory list in the middle, and an inventory item pick list on the right. In the pick list, you can search for a specific item from a predefined inventory list. To demonstrate this, we will first add a new room. Tapping on Room brings up the destination and room filters. Here you can choose the transit method for moving the items to their destination, and you can select the room they are being collected from. Back on the inventory page, you can see our new room and destination filters are already selected. To add items, we simply find them in the pick list and tap them to add them to the actual inventory. Once in the inventory, you can select an item to open the menu bar. The menu bar provides many options for updating details or adding remarks to the item. Selecting Edit will allow you to make a variety of changes to that specific item. Items can be set with custom default details. Here you have the opportunity to change those as needed. Next, we will show you the Condition button. This will provide you with a selection of standard condition note options. Tapping on the options will add them to the inventory item. You then have the ability to add a photo to the item as well. You can select from the device's photo gallery, or you can open the camera and take a new photo. Mobi will give you the option to add additional photos or get back to making the inventory. Once the photos are added, they can be accessed through the inventory item menu. If packing materials need to be adjusted or have not been pre-assigned, you can select the Packing button, which will allow you to add or adjust the materials for this item. Additionally, from the item menu, the crew can make quick edits to the item's volume or weight, as well as making notes of any crating that the item will require. If there are multiple similar items, you can simply copy the first item to add additional identical ones. You also have the option to split an item if it will be disassembled and packed as multiple pieces. Voiding items, scanning barcodes, and making notes about assembly or disassembly are options here as well. Selecting the magnifying glass towards the bottom right of the screen will display a summary of the inventory as it exists so far. This summary will provide the total volume or weight inventoried, as well as breakdowns based on the destination and room filters added. The checkoff service functions as a digital bingo sheet. If a digital inventory already exists, the numbers can be populated from that. Alternatively, if no pre-existing inventory exists, the inventory numbers can be added directly through this module. Simply press Add Items, select the destination method, and then select the starting number followed by the number of items you want to add. This module has multiple views available for those that prefer less or more detail. First is a simple grid view. This is similar to a standard paper bingo sheet. Selecting the grid size icon provides a more detailed grid view, which includes item descriptions if available. Selecting the icon a second time will present an inventory list as another option. Once all of the inventory items have been added, multiple destination locations are available when checking the items off. To start, select the Add Check button. Next, choose the location the items are going to as the crew checks them off. This list of locations is customizable. Mobi has various methods for completing the bingo sheet. Items can be checked by simply clicking on the individual item. The system can also work with scanning of barcodes instead. This can be done with either a dedicated scanner or the device's camera. To do this, simply select the barcode icon at the top of the screen and scan the barcode. Statuses can also be added to the items during checkoff. By selecting the Edit icon, you can edit the item details or set a status using one of the icons at the bottom of the screen. When a status is set, the color of the item updates on the checkoff screen so you can easily see the statuses of multiple items at a glance. If a missing item is found at a later date, the crew can come back to the checkoff screen, select the item, and clear the status. As the crew inspects the items, they can add new condition notes to the items. Press the glass button to access the condition notes screen, then select the appropriate conditions. Once the entire checkoff process has been completed, the crew can run the checkoff report to obtain a detailed summary of all items checked off. At the top of the inventory, there is a legend detailing the different statuses used. At the end of the report, the crew and/or client can electronically sign to confirm the report is accurate. Mobi timesheeting allows you to capture the hours of all labor and vehicles assigned to a job. The timesheeting menu can be included in the crew's workflow in Mobi, or can be set as a standalone menu item depending on when the crew leader records the hours. Times can be recorded against each resource individually or can be added to all resources collectively. Individual employees can be edited in case not all resources were used for the same number of hours. The group total can be added, then the individual employee can be modified to add or subtract the additional hours. Automated messaging can be activated to accomplish tasks such as, but not limited to, sending a text message to the client when a start time is assigned to their move, or for sending an email to the operations manager when a finish time is entered to let them know the job is completed and the crew is on their way back. To ensure your fleet is properly managed, we offer the Mobi Vehicle Checklist. This can also be included in the crew's workflow to present them with a start-of-day checklist as well as a separate one for the end of the day. Within each checklist, you can customize the set of questions you want the crew to provide responses to. The crew would select their vehicle, then respond to each of the questions to record the requested data. Questions can be set up to prompt the user for additional information depending upon their reply. If there is a circumstance where additional information would be relevant, When they answer the question, an additional entry field would appear to allow them to add information to their response. They also have access to the camera on their device to provide photographic support. Each question can also be set to send automated notification alerts depending on the answer. For instance, should the crew indicate something on the vehicle is not functioning properly, operations could receive a notification of that information so they can respond immediately and accordingly. The electronic signatures all carry a timestamp to record the date and time the questionnaire was completed and signed off on. Once the questionnaires are completed, the crew can generate the Vehicle Checklist Report. This report will reflect the responses given by the crew. Once generated, the app will prompt the crew to email the report. They will have access to all the necessary individuals that the report should be emailed to. If emailing the report is not required, the information will be imported back to your MoveWord database upon the next sync of your application. Mobi offers your crew the ability to edit charge details and collect payments while on site. We have integrated with Bambora Worldline for mobile payment processing. Invoicing details can be automatically populated on the portal so your client can simply enter their card details and the payment will be validated and processed. If you wish to use your own vendor, the portal button can be redirected to a payment vendor of your choosing. By selecting the Payment Portal button, Mobi will direct the client to the appropriate site for the client to enter their info and process the payment. Mobi has many additional features not covered in this presentation that make it the leading mobile application in the industry. Thank you for attending our presentation. We look forward to working with you to answer any remaining questions you have or to schedule a more in-depth one-on-one demo with you.